Howdy mates, good evening. How are we all doing? I'm still trying to get used to the fact that it's almost 7 o'clock because now we have sprung ahead in terms of time. So I'm actually checking out another new spot that I've never been to before, which is actually not too far from Saint Pete. I'm over visiting the Fort De Soto Park, and it's basically on a barrier island that basically runs parallel to the Skyway Bridge, but it's not on the Skyway Bridge. Anyway, point being said, since it was already on the way back, I figured I would pay a little visit and try to catch sunset too. So let's say we step back in time, going to the year of 1898. So that was the year when the Spanish-American War was going on, with particular conflicts with Cuba at the time. So given that the conflict was going on down here in Florida, the citizens of Tampa, basically, they wanted to have some form of protection. So essentially the United States military, they made investment to establish a fort here in which you can actually see some of the foundations that still remain. So, it had your artillery, your kitchens, your halls, your rooming. It was exactly what it was supposed to be, a fort. Now, the thing is, what makes this particular area so fascinating are those right there. You see those? Those are known as the 1890 M1s. They're a particular type of cannon in which there are only a select few that exist in the world. And they're also known as mortars. Now, the only other ones that do exist in the world are in the Philippines, and that's it. It is said that the trajectory of the cannons, or the mortars I should say, would range from basically like a mile to 6 miles. So in other words, they weren't messing around. They were serious. And I believe originally there were 8 of them, so I think some of them are reproductions. Didn't really specify, but there was an interpretive sign where it said some of them were actually melted, like the material, the metal, to be repurposed into other forms of weaponry. Now the thing is, when I showed you guys those cannons just a moment ago, they were only used for practice. They never actually had to use them for defense. So in a sense, it's like, okay, that honestly seems like a waste of money. But anyways, that's part of the history though. It's one of those deals, like the military wanted to be prepared, but it turned out the war didn't seem as bad as it was expected to be. So it's just one of those deals where, granted, it was a great idea, but it never really turned out to be useful. And by the way, too, it literally borders right along with the Gulf. So this will be a nice little treat to end my day as I head back south once again. And by the way, too, I forgot to point out, smaller cannons that you did see behind me, I forget the exact name of them. I will clarify in the description. Those particular cannons, mortars, they were used to basically protect the premises. You know, shorter range and smaller vessels, too, that were faster. Unlike those larger ones that you did see, those were used for longer distance, of course, and for larger vessels. And it was said, like, within a vessel, they could literally penetrate 6 feet within. So, you figure that's a lot of damage that's happening. So, anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed your Sunday. Take care. And Journey on a Journey is, of course, onwards. Take care, folks. See ya.